Speaking on Silicon Valley, the RNC and Trump campaign sending a letter to Facebook and Twitter to voice concerns about suppressing conservative views ahead of the midterms, writing, quote, "As you conduct reviews to assess bias against conservative content, we ask for your assurances that transparency, neutrality, and protection of all speech will be core tenets of Facebook and Twitter operations now and in the future." Here now is Howard Kurtz, Fox News media analyst and Media Buzz host. Do you think they have the right to be worried right now, Howie?
Well, that letter getting a little less attention than President Trump's letter to Kim Jong-un. Look, this is a brushback pitch. It doesn't present any new evidence, but Mark Zuckerberg has basically already pleaded guilty on this. He has said that he worries about bias against conservatives at Facebook. He has said that it's based in a left-leaning, euphemism, Silicon Valley, and he's hired former Republican Senator John Kyle to look into these matters. So I think it's smart for the Trump campaign, the RNC, to set down a marker. The evidence a little less clear-cut against Twitter, but certainly there have been complaints over the years from conservatives as well.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at everything that went on in Facebook in the last election, it's just a chaotic mess. I mean, between accounts that didn't exist and, banning of people who weren't actually saying, I mean, it was kind of all over the place. Net, the president still won. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, sure. But at the same time, there was that sort of mini scandal with the trending topics where certain biased people were, suppressing trending topics that were of interest to conservatives. So, we do, certainly it didn't swing the election, but we do now all realize how important social media are in politics. And so it makes sense for the Trump and RNC people to try to get on the record saying we're worried about this and kind of set up if there are future revelations, they can say, well, you didn't do this adequately. So they're getting ahead of the 2020 game here.
I guess, although, I mean, one of the things is that it is a free market. Nobody forces you to go on Facebook or Twitter if you don't want to be there. I mean, so isn't it about creating a non-monopoly? Like that doesn't that just create an opening for somebody like Facebook to come out and create a platform where people who do not share that Silicon Valley, Mark Zuckerberg, Sheryl Sandberg point of view could go and be with their peeps?
Well, no question these are private businesses, but look, they sell themselves as nonpartisan platforms.
But nobody believes that. Nobody believes that.
Well, nobody believes that, but so if they're going to at least mouth the rhetoric, then I think it's fair for political actors to hold them accountable. Let
me turn you over to Elon Musk, because he's kind of losing some patience lately or something. He's been a little bit off the chain. His most recent tweet, I mean, he had a zillion tweets that he was just firing them off. It was like 19 tweets.
Very Trumpian.
Very Trumpian. But he said he's going to create a site where the public can rate the core truth of any article and track the credibility score over time of each journalist, editor, and publication, thinking of calling it Pravda. What did you make of this one?
Well, I think Elon Musk's common sense is losing a little rocket fuel. I mean, look, I've always admired this guy. He's mostly gotten great press throughout his whole life, but with Tesla and SpaceX, especially Tesla, running into some troubles and getting some critical scrutiny from the media, he is really going off. And then, while there's nothing wrong with a zillionaire, creating a site like this, he seems to be sort of unaware of how the media actually operate and the fact that there are a lot of attempts to do this already. So I think the preponderance of tweets suggests that he's pretty angry at the media, and he probably needs to, if he's going to be a successful businessman, he probably needs to learn to coexist to some degree.
Yeah, I guess, although, I mean, he was part of Delete Facebook, so there's that too. Anyway, Howard, thank you.